So where to start with Constellation Software? So first of all, acquiring VMS businesses. So they're acquiring mission critical software businesses. So if you're running a sports club, you need the software to organize your members and court bookings, and so it's this kind of software where you have high stickiness, meaning the customers are quite sticky. Like 95% retention or what have you. So you're acquiring businesses that have recurring revenue. So usually it's like some sort of subscription. You're paying monthly. The customers need your product. The product as a percentage of your overall operating costs is relatively low. So if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, listen, I'm going to give you better club management software. It's going to cost you 200 a month instead of 300." Are you really going to switch? So there's switching costs issues there. So we liked the focus on those types of businesses. We also understand, per Mark's sort of original assessment of the TAM, was that there was maybe 40,000 businesses that they've identified across the planet that fit these characteristics, meaning that they're a leader, that they've been run well, and they're available at prices that make sense. So the average, still to this day, the average acquisition of Constellation is in I think the $3 to $4 million range. So they're not bidding against private equity. They're not bidding against anybody. The other thing that's really interesting about Constellation Software is they've now done 1,000 of these acquisitions. I think when we bought them in 2014, they were at maybe a few hundred or what have you. If you think about the person who responds to the overtures from Constellation versus the overtures from private equity. So Constellation says, "Hey, we're not going to give you the best price, but what we can promise you is that we're going to keep your employees, we're going to keep the product, and we're going to keep your customers, and we're going to hold you forever." They've sold one. Mark Leonard says, "My only regret is I'm selling that one company." So they've acquired 1,000 and sold one. They've kept 999. So if you care about your product, your customers, and your employees, and you're okay not taking the best price, then you're going to go with Constellation, not the private equity person who is just going to dress it up, put a little lipstick on the pig, and flip it in 3 years or 5 years, right? And so now you have this constellation of founders who have chosen to take less money and partner with a company that is doing things for the right reasons. And I think that's a hugely powerful part of their competitive edge and moat that, of course, is very difficult to replicate because they've got such a lot of people have tried copying Constellation, but it's difficult to replicate that type of discipline. So I just understood the business better, and I'll admit it took me time.